$5 million. You know what that gets you in college football in 2025? It got Texas Tech a defensive line with the 2nd, 6th, and 13th highest grade pass rushers in the Power 4 conferences. And all three of those dudes are going to have one guy in their sights on Saturday. A guy who at this time last year was just getting ready to play Rancho Cucamonga High School. And while I'm sure Rancho wasn't an easy out, BYU quarterback Bear Bachmeier has never seen anything like the Red Raiders front. Let me introduce you to David Bailey, the edge rusher for Texas Tech. I called his very first spring game when he was at Stanford as, a 17-year-old, what should have been high school senior. A few years later, he's leading this Red Raider defense, and he can do it in all sorts of different ways when he's rushing the passer. Right here, it's just all speed off the edge. His skill set starts with speed. Standing up, trying to put the hand down, right around the edge, getting after him. Boom. Not only the speed, but here, he's got power as well. Check out this bull rush. Love standing him up right on that guard. Puts the guard right back into Sam Levitt's face. He's got the speed. He's got the bull rush. Then offensively, you got to make sure that you're chipping him. That's exactly what ASU does here with this receiver or tight end. I'm not sure who that is, but they're going to chip him, but it don't matter. Look at David Bailey rush here, and then look at this spin move. Little Dwight Freeney action. Quick. Love to see it. Don't always see a spin move that actually gets home. Whop. Let me get that again. That's good stuff. Check this spin move. Little whop. Boom. Gets home. Good luck, BYU offensive line. And then when it's not him, he'll still create havoc off the outside and then allow his buddies to come from the other side to clean up. The dude leads the country in sacks, has had a sack in every game but one. Getting it done. But Bear Bachmeier is not your typical true freshman. So far this season, he has 20 touchdowns, 11 passing, 9 rushing. That's 5 more than any other true freshman in the country. But that being said, he still is a true freshman because when you look at this BYU passing attack, it's not fully open. The playbook's not all the way open. They lean a lot on rollouts, dividing the field in half, not forcing their young signal caller to consistently do full progression reads. One, that's to protect him from a read standpoint, but then two, his legs are very much a factor and very much something that Texas Tech is going to have to monitor. This is going to be a little play action pass, and they're going to hit that receiver on the top of the screen. And there's probably BYU fans that heard me say that and say, oh, Bear Bachmeier can pass. No doubt he can. But it's about 4 to 6 progression passes a game that just keep the defense honest. This is where they want to operate. On the run passes and RPOs. Bachmeier rolling right, come back on the outside lane. Bang. This right here is a great job by Bachmeier, recognizing, hey, corner that's overplaying things. He's trying to get to the number 3 receiver on the arrow here, but this receiver on the top of the screen, they don't cover him. Iowa State, coverage bust. Bachmeier takes advantage. Big pickup. Again, on the run. Splitting the field in half, not asking your young quarterback to read the entire field. And I mentioned it earlier, 9 touchdowns rushing on the season. His legs are very much a factor. When he breaks the pocket, Texas Tech, if you're going to pin your ears back and try to rush the young passer, stay in your rush lanes. Force him to beat you from the pocket because Bachmeier's talented like this. And then again, this is a little quarterback draw right up here. This is tough to defend. Bachmeier's a big dude. He is not built like a true freshman. Not playing like a true freshman, not built like a true freshman, running through tackles, getting in the end zone for 6. Hey, real quick, if you're enjoying this video, hit the subscribe button down below. We're closing in on 50,000 subscribers, and maybe this video gets us over the hump. Appreciate you guys. Texas Tech's offense isn't an afterthought, though. It might not be the Michael Crabtree and Graham Harrell offense we saw the last time College Game Day was in Lubbock, but it's been good enough for the Red Raiders to outscore teams by an average 30 points this season. How are they doing it? With space. They're going to line up their receivers using all 53 1/3 yards to the from sideline to sideline. A lot of green grass right here. Reason they're doing that, they're forcing defenders to cover in space, tackle in space, and they also like their athleticism in space as well. You got a little out route here by the slot receiver and then a little delay dig right here. They're ultimately going to hit this receiver. And again, utilizing space, spreading the defense out wide, which is different than BYU. BYU wants to play a little bit more in the trenches, a little bit grimier, a little bit uglier. If this turns into a shootout, I think it favors Texas Tech. Again, space right here. Look at how far they're lining up this receiver to the top of the screen. You got a little post by that guy, a little post by the number 2 guy, and then a little wheel route by number 3. They're ultimately going to hit this number 3 receiver. Again, spacing. Look at how much space is between that slot receiver and that tackle. It puts this linebacker right here in a bind. Lighter box counts. Obviously, offensive line play still matters. But Texas Tech wants to operate in space more, and that's an absolute dime on that throw. And it wouldn't be a Texas Tech breakdown without some 4 verts. Shout out and RIP to the great Mike Leach, the innovator of 4 verts. Again, spacing. Look how far away from the tackle. Look at how close he is to the sideline. You got 4 vert. 1, 2, 3, 4. They're ultimately going to hit this vertical down here, forcing the defense to cover in space and trusting that your quarterback is going to make the right decisions. Seeing different concepts too. And then this one, it's not just RPOs. Again, just to drive the point home, lined up close to the sideline. That you can feel the space, or I guess circling here is a better way to show that. You got a vertical route, then a dig on the top of the screen. They're ultimately going to hit this dig route. And then I believe underneath this tight end was coming this way. Spreading the defense out, trying to find green grass, picking it up. And then when you spread a defense out wide, look at this. Look, 2 high safety structure for Arizona State, 2, 4, 6, 7 defensive backs back here. You know, they're wary of the identity for Texas Tech. And then here, Tech's going to swoop this running back to the field, and then this tight end's going to act like he's going to block, and then it's a little tight end screen underneath. Spread the defense out, create space to then hit him right up the gut with a little screen pass. Pop, pop, space, boom, getting up. Nice little gain right there. That being said, though, I don't know how well that strategy is going to work against BYU, especially in the red zone. This BYU defense has only allowed 11 touchdowns to opposing offenses in 26 trips to the red zone. And when you watch the tape, what jumps out about BYU and why they're so good in the red zone is this front 4. They're big, they're athletic, and they can impact the offense as if they are blitzing with 5 or 6 guys. And they're very disciplined in their rush lanes, too. They're getting pressure and they're condensing the pocket, but it's not all over the place where they allow quarterbacks to scramble. Here we got Noah Fafita, great at scrambling. Just condenses down on him. He's forced to scramble out. Still have 7 defensive backs when you're able to, or 7 defenders in coverage when you're just rushing 4. And then again right here. It's not just in the Arizona game. It shows up consistently. BYU's front 4, the combination of being both athletic, but then big enough to create push inside, treats them really, really well. And then here, this is an interception. Get Noah Fafita leaking out to his left, trying to make a play, leak the rusher, picked. I believe I have the back view on this one to drive the point home. Yup. I'm going to talk about BYU's athleticism. I'm pretty sure this guy slips if I remember correctly. But then just the motor. All these dudes have motor. 13's ultimately going to get home. I like this BYU defensive line. I like this BYU defense, period. Create a mistake coming up. Look what I found. Interception BYU. So we got a young quarterback, a good young quarterback versus an elite defensive line. I give the edge to Texas Tech. I think they win this, but that's a lot of points. I'm seeing 10.5 or maybe even 11.5 spread. I think BYU's defense, and especially the athleticism defensively, is good enough to keep this game close enough. Give me the Red Raiders to win, but BYU to cover. And there's probably only room for one Big 12 team to get into the CFP when it's all said and done. So it looks like it's the Red Raiders controlling their destiny ahead.